Tonight on the Northwestern News Report, securing a smooth ride, how NUPD is stepping up security measures in response to a rise in bike theft on campus.
Plus, trunk or treat. We take a look at an Evanston event where vehicles and kids alike are dressed up for a spooky Halloween.
And from the court to your plate, a collab between NU's Boo Buoy and Epic Burger is dishing up an exclusive secret menu treat. Hello and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Alexia Cadota-Browner.
And I'm Ellie Skelly. Members of Students for Justice in Palestine hosted a rally at the Rock last Wednesday. Dozens of students chanting slogans, including Free, Free Palestine. Participants wore masks, carried signs, and flew Palestinian flags. This stems from the conflict between Israel and Hamas, which killed more than 9,000 people in the Middle East. At times, students holding up their hands to prevent filming. NU President Michael Schill is calling for students to be respectful towards each other while promoting free speech.
Fake copies of the Daily Northwestern found their way into campus buildings last week. Titled The Northwestern Daily, these pages include a photo from a hospital in Gaza and articles comparing Israeli hostages to dining hall takeout containers and criticism of NU President Michael Schill's handling of the situation. University spokesperson John Yates says, quote, "In response to complaints filed by community members, Northwestern University Police is investigating the incident, including a review of camera footage in the areas impacted." The Daily Northwestern and its parent company say they had no involvement in the printing of these papers and are investigating.
The Evanston City Council member Eleanor Revelle proposing this ban for public safety. Flavored tobacco products are more addictive than non-flavored products, according to the CDC. The flavors mask the negative effects of the tobacco. There are concerns about how it would affect businesses that sell these products and a loss of about $100,000 in tax revenue.
Evanston reparations leaders can now see how the people feel about their work. That's thanks to a recently published study done through a partnership between the city and Northwestern. NNN's Raj Ganeker gives us a look into the study's results and what they say about one of the city's unprecedented initiatives.
That sort of process really earned them a great deal of credibility with our citizens.
That's what Northwestern political science professor Alvin Tillery found when he conducted a study into the city's reparations initiative. It began when reparations leader Robin Roos Simmons met with Tillery in 2022.
Robin said that they had been approached by several academics who wanted to do a public opinion study of how people were receiving the policy.
The study consisted of a survey into both the acceptance and impact of the city's first-of-its-kind reparations plan, and the results painted a positive picture.
We found net gains in trust, also along every ethnic and demographic group in the city.
On the other hand, other statistics brought up different questions. 40% of Black residents said their trust in city government hadn't changed despite the program, but Tillery is not surprised.
And I don't think that people are believing that a $25,000 reparations benefit is necessarily going to fix everything that's wrong with the city.
Evanston reparations leader Michael Neighbors agrees.
I don't believe that what our local government has done in the past 4 years is going to help subside 250 years of doubt and concern about the government's actions towards Black people.
Tillery says the positive takeaways provide hope for reparations in the future, specifically the over 60% approval from Black respondents.
Getting 64% of any population in America to agree on something is an astronomically high positive response.
Tillery's not done either. He has only finished the infant stage of the study. In the future,
focus groups, hopefully talk to more people who are actually opposed to the program.
Raj now joins us in the studio. Thanks for being with us. Now, Raj, what did Professor Tillery say happens now that this data is actually in hand?
Well, I think it's important to note, first of all, that some of it has actually been embargoed so that the city can take next steps without that data being public first. Professor Tillery also made a note that it is solely up to city leaders and that him and his team are not involved in the decision-making process from now on. He said that, from here on out, they will make a decision whether to change course, whether to change how they're going about the initiative. But I think we won't see the results or the changes from the data until a little farther down the line.
Gotcha. Thanks, Raj, for this excellent reporting.
After the break, Teaching for Change, how a new CESP dean shakes up communication and representation at NU.
And celebrating Native American Heritage Month, how one museum honors local tribes.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
My relationship with Jonas is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Northwestern's plan to rebuild Ryan Field is one step closer to becoming reality. Last night, proposals relating to the new stadium went before City Council for the first time. NNN's Logan Schijano was there and has the highlights from the marathon meeting.
These 48-hour visits purposely end without recruits ever laying eyes on Ryan Field.
That's how Northwestern emphasized the need for a new football stadium at Monday's City Council meeting. And after 7 hours of public comment and deliberations, council members approved 2 ordinances related to the stadium rebuild, including one to rezone the U2 district for public concerts.
5 voting in favor and 4 voting against. The motion carries. The item passes for introduction.
It's a major hurdle passed in Northwestern's quest to rebuild Ryan Field, and one the university says is necessary to pay for stadium maintenance. But like previous meetings, concerts were met with pushback from council members and residents.
A number of large commercial concerts to be held annually in the rebuilt Ryan Field would erode the essential residential character of the surrounding neighborhoods.
Mega concerts in the stadium will lead to a disastrous amount of noise, air pollution, and traffic.
The council's vote to approve rezoning came just before 1 a.m., and it defies the Evanston Land Use Committee's recommendation against concerts.
Putting Evanston on the map and the attraction that having concerts will bring to Evanston, it's the intangible benefits that to me are almost as exciting.
Just hours before Monday's meeting, Northwestern released a community benefits agreement, something that stadium skeptics have been clamoring for. But although the agreement guarantees $100 million to city projects throughout the next 10 years, many in the room think it doesn't go far enough.
To match its peers, NU should add another 0 to the Good Neighbor Fund it's offered.
The timing of the CBA and a late-night amendment troubled some council members, too.
Making decisions like this on the fly for something that so seriously is going to impact our community. It's absurd. It's wrong.
In a statement reacting to the vote, a Northwestern spokesperson telling NNN in part, quote, "We appreciate that the project has spurred rigorous debate and are confident the benefits will be realized for generations to come." A final vote on Ryan Field is expected on November 13th. In Evanston, Logan Schijano, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Logan. Northwestern hopes to break ground on the new stadium after the Cats' final home game on November 18th.
You might have noticed some new security guards by bike racks around campus over the past couple of weeks. NNN's Lance Wilhelm has more on what's been going on with campus.
Bikes are a popular mode of transportation for NU students, but for some, recent thefts have stopped them from riding.
I felt just very sad. Just very, very sad.
While bike theft is on the rise, students are taking precautionary measures, but nothing so far is able to stop the issue. In response, the school contracted guards through private security company Luna to stand by major bike racks on campus from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. 7 days a week.
There's been a lot of robberies about bikes over here.
The security guards are in constant radio contact with Northwestern police, alerting the guards of any suspicious activity.
I have eyes on the young man heading southbound on Sheridan past Allison Hall right now.
Right now, I'm standing outside of Allison Hall, and the radio alert that you just saw Brandon receive matches a lot of what I've been hearing from students, saying that middle school-aged groups of boys are going around to bike racks just like this, looking for bikes to steal. The groups of kids have seemingly been able to cut through locks, even heavy-duty U-locks not doing the trick.
It looks like they're just like ripping them apart or just like kind of cutting it through.
While guards are posted at bike racks on campus, they are strictly meant to act as deterrents, not being able to chase after or apprehend thieves. So if you see an active crime taking place, still contact university police. Lance Wilhelm, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Lance. If your bike gets stolen on campus, contact Northwestern Police or community service officers for assistance.
CESB Dean Brian Brayboy started his first year at Northwestern. NNN's Paris Franzway shares how his background shapes his leadership.
New CESB Dean Brian Brayboy of Lumbee descent is increasing Indigenous representation in Northwestern leadership and higher education.
It disrupts ideas about who can be deans for everyone.
Connections and relationships guide his work as dean.
We're necessarily responsible to and for the school, and so the hope is the school will continue to thrive.
CESB professor Megan Bang has worked with Brayboy for over 20 years and believes in his relationship-focused leadership style.
He gets to model what a humane and kind of ethic of leadership is from a collective place, because that's who he is as a Lumbee man.
Forming connections with students, Brayboy sends a weekly email sharing his everyday life and experiences as a new Evanston resident.
I think it's just about opening ourselves up.
And the emails already a hit with students.
Love his Friday emails. They always bring so much joy, a lot of CESB love.
Brayboy's goal, for students to thrive academically and culturally.
How do they leave here healthy and whole in a way that they're thriving?
To achieve this, Brayboy has trained almost 200 Indigenous teachers and PhDs.
If teachers understand you and your background and they have some shared experiences, they are likely to do a better job of teaching you.
From ASU to Northwestern, Brayboy examines Indigenous knowledge systems for solutions to future problems like climate change, but ultimately has faith in students as the solution.
I have this fundamental belief and hope in young people to be able to guide us.
CESB Dean Brayboy fostering connection and exploring solutions for the future. Paris Franzway, Northwestern News Network.
Brayboy and Bang's recent book project, Across the Lands and Waters, will be published early next year.
The director of bands and the chair of music at Beanon is retiring at the end of the 2023-2024 academic year. Mallory Thompson was the first woman to be named to this position, and only the third person to hold this title of director of bands at NU. Thompson's greatest honor has been directing the Symphonic Wind Assembly, Northwestern's most selective wind ensemble. She is also an alumnus of the school, having earned an undergraduate degree in trumpet performance and a master's of music degree in conducting. The Symphonic Wind Ensemble will embark on a celebratory musical journey this year to honor Thompson's extraordinary work. Following her retirement, Thompson will continue to act as the artistic director of the North Shore Concert Band. Coming up, we jump into the leaves of Northwestern's Fall Fest.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cerejido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
Ready, set, piano!
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
Welcome back. It's time for a quick check of the weather with NNN's Caitlin Bender-Thomas.
Thanks, Alexia. It is certainly chilly out today. I had to bring out the big coat, as you can see. Looking into next week, we'll see a rise in temperatures. On Wednesday, the high will be 42 degrees. On Thursday and Friday, the skies will be mostly cloudy with temperatures in the low 50s. We'll maintain that consistency throughout the weekend, but there's about a 40% chance of rain on Saturday, so don't forget to grab that umbrella before you head out. That's all I have for tonight. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Caitlin. The snow sure was a spooky, scary surprise this morning.
Throughout this past week, the university has held a variety of fall-related events to help welcome students into the new season. NNN's Sadie Frankel visited one such event to help students get outside and appreciate all that autumn has to offer.
Students congregated outside of Norris last Monday, ready to paint pumpkins, play football, and indulge in some fall treats. These activities all part of Fall Fest, organized and hosted by Northwestern Dining.
Northwestern Dining tries to do a series of events that are intended for our students to take a break from their classes and coursework and come and enjoy and have a little bit of autumn fun.
The event's goal? To remind students to take a break from studying and enjoy sweater weather.
Definitely intended for our students to have a moment of enjoyment amongst their busy schedules.
Students took advantage of the time, putting down the books and picking up the pumpkin spice.
These past few weeks have been a little bit stressful with midterms and stuff. So just having a space to kind of settle down, relax, get free food, it's really nice.
And while the events may be hard to hear about,
I do feel like if there was more word of mouth, then more people would come out and it would continue to create, community.
The festivities make it all worth it.
I've just enjoyed the apple donuts and the apple cider, which that alone is really nice since there's no orchards right nearby. I mean, I know there's some far out, but yeah, you get a little bit of the apple season here, and then I'm probably going to paint a pumpkin.
Keeping an eye on autumn, Sadie Frankel, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Sadie. Make sure to keep an eye out for other upcoming Northwestern Dining events.
This month, a familiar face from Welsh Rhine Arena is entering the food space in Evanston. Men's basketball player Boo Buie returned for his 5th year at Northwestern with a side of fries. The New York native has partnered with Epic Burgers locations in Evanston and Skokie with a new burger as part of Buie's NIL deal, the Boo Burger. The burger has pepper jack cheese, bacon, pickles, BBQ sauce, Epic sauce, and an onion ring in honor of his jersey number 0. Last season, Buie helped lead the Wildcats to 22-12, including an appearance in March Madness, the program's 2nd appearance in school history. With the season right around the corner, the starting point guard hopes to dish some dimes and patties. Be sure to check out the men's basketball team's first game of the regular season, Monday, November 6th at 7 p.m. on Big Ten Plus and at Welsh Ryan Arena.
November marks the start of Native American Heritage Month. NNN's Victoria Ryan visited Evanston's Mitchell Museum of the American Indian to explore what this month means to the community.
We want to be able to help give a voice to Indigenous people, contemporary Indigenous artists, as well as continuing with teaching about Native people historically.
To celebrate Native American Heritage Month, Evanston's Mitchell Museum of the American Indian is holding an annual benefit on November 11th with food and presentations. In addition to the benefit, the museum partnered with Evanston Township High School to premiere Northwestern professor Brandy Berry Benson's original classical composition on November 7th.
All events are located on the event page, and if we post about it, it is open and welcome to the public to come sit and learn and celebrate, eat, and just learn and embrace our culture with us.
For STAR, along with many other Native people, this month shines a positive light on Native American accomplishments and heritage, but it's not the only time to recognize them.
Honestly, as a Native person, we celebrate every day because we are honoring who we are every single day.
She emphasized Chicago's unique connection to Native culture and encourages non-Native people to learn more and get involved.
There's over 150 different tribal nations represented, and we're one of the top 5 largest urban Native populations in the country. So there's a large presence of Native people here, and we are encouraging everyone just to come and celebrate with us throughout our celebrations that are going to be hosted around the city.
Raising awareness and honoring culture past, present, and future. At the Mitchell Museum for NNN, Victoria Ryan.
Thanks, Victoria. For more information on events happening this month, check out the Mitchell Museum's website or chicagoaicc.org.
Coming up, we'll give you your dose of Northwestern science news. But first, these messages.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cerejido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at LAist Studios.
Ready, set, piano!
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
My relationship with Jonas is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. It's time now for Under the Microscope, your weekly check on the pulse of Northwestern's scientific studies. Here's NNN's Micah Sandy.
Thank you. I'm Kieran Kresge to present to you the latest in campus news and science. Finals week is around the corner, which means our internal clocks might be facing a bit of disruption. The new study might have found the key to beating jet lag, but we can use the results to hack finals week. The study found that having large meals when your brain is ready for rest or constantly eating at different times of the day can cause misalignment in our internal clocks. This makes us more tired and less aware, meaning memorizing those final flashcards might be a bit tricky. Luckily, NU scientists have found a new way to keep our circadian clock on time. A regular eating schedule keeps our body's peripheral clocks free of misalignment. These clocks affect your most central clock, your brain. And something's in the air in Northwestern. Researchers have found a way to pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere using moisture swing carbon capture. Although researchers acknowledge that it will not work everywhere, using it in humid areas makes for low energy costs. One day, companies might even use carbon capture to offset their own emissions. That was our weekly look under the microscope. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Micah, for those amazing stories.
To the delight of Wildcat sports fans, Northwestern University basketball is back. The team will tip off against this season Monday with a cat versus cat showdown. The Northwestern Wildcats against the Binghamton Bearcats. This will be the first official game of the season, and the second with the new student ticket system following tomorrow's exhibition game against McKendree.
Trick-or-treaters arrived in droves at Evanston's annual Trunk or Treat last week. NNN's Alicia Tang treats us to an inside look at the event.
Trunk or treat!
All dressed to impress, cars pulled into the Robert Crown Community Center to greet trick-or-treaters last Friday.
Park in a spot, pop your trunk, and you decorate your trunk and hand candy out.
At this event, you have to say trunk or treat to get your piece of candy.
It's essentially to get everybody trick-or-treating in one area in a safe and protected way.
And anyone, any age, can participate.
I've seen a baby here that was maybe 9 months old, and then I've seen a teenager already.
The event also helps Evanstonians learn more about different city departments.
Got everybody from like Public Works, Fire Department, Parks and Rec, so it was just a great event for us all to kind of get together and do something nice for the community.
Many express their true selves with their costumes. Trunk-or-treater Valerie Santana was most excited to
put my dress on.
The event is about more than just the treats. It's also about giving imagination a place to flow.
Our box is about women empowerment and teaching children and boys and girls they can do anything.
And for the trunk-or-treaters, the possibilities are endless.
You can be whatever you want to be and everything all at one time.
Driving in, the important lessons. Alicia Tang, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Alicia. The event used to be held at the Chandler Newberger Center, but moved to Robert Crown due to the increased demand. More than 300 people registered for this year's Trunk or Treat. Ellie, happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, Alexia.
What are you wearing today? What were some of your favorite costumes you wore over the weekend?
So I kind of have a mix going on today. I forgot my real costume at home. So Sadie and Paris, who anchored NNX, fortunately gave me their costume. So I'm wearing a cape and cat ears. I'm thinking a super cat kind of vibe. What are you?
Awesome, I like it. Cat to the rescue. I got a skeleton going on, also a tiara, double fusion costume.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I was Princess Daisy from Mario Kart, so that's where this crown's from. I love it.
Wait, that's awesome. That's so cool. I was Bowser, actually, from Mario, so I feel like we were kind of twins there.
How fun. I love that. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Alexia Cadota Browner.
And I'm Ellie Skelly. From all of us here at NNN, good night and happy Halloween.